Winter in Japan. Lovely views. Heartwarming flavors. And exhilarating experiences. Discover the best Japan has to offer right here in central Japan this winter. Nagoya Railroad Group.
Potenza.
We do our jobs with sincerity and integrity to make a better living environment for the people and our society. Today's work, tomorrow's heritage. Shimizu Corporation.
Welcome to Channel Japan. I'm Mai Demizu.
And I'm Makiko Tsuda.
Every week, we bring you the freshest information out of Japan from a studio here in Tokyo.
From the economy to culture and even foods, if you want to find out what's happening in Japan right now, this is where you'll find it.
And these are topics for today.
In Dreamweavers, a carpet maker rolling out products of international repute.
From World Business Satellite, overseas tourists go on a shopping spree in Japan.
Also from World Business Satellite, the online expansion of delivery laundry businesses and moves to clean up the industry.
And from Takumi, eradicating odors with the power of light. So let's get started. First up is Dreamweavers, in which we introduce the innovations of Japan's small and mid-sized companies.
Yes, now this time we'll be featuring a company called Oriental Carpet, and that makes a high-end carpet in a small town in northeastern Japan, and the place we have a map over here.
Well, I remember hearing that their products are used in Imperial Palace and State Guest Houses in Japan, as well as the Vatican Palace and the Royal Palace in Saudi Arabia. And I know the techniques and the quality of the weavings are recognized all around the world.
That's right, and the highest quality carpets are all hand woven or hand knotted, and weaving just several centimeters takes an entire day. And the time and effort they spend on each carpet and the meticulous handiwork are why their carpets are receiving high acclaim.
Well, given that the most things nowadays are low cost and mass produced, they seem to be going in a different direction. And I can't imagine such high-end products selling huge volumes, especially given how cost-conscious consumers are. Well, what's management's take on this?
Well, the company president says that more important than price is creating products that speak to and move the customer. And he believes that that's how they can capture new customers without being dragged into price wars.
I see. Well, it's not a big company, so I imagine they had a hard time than others navigating through the changing times.
You're right, and at one point the president had to make the difficult decision of laying off many workers, and he also adopted innovative designs that ultimately helped expand the business. So take a look.
The Kabukiza Theater in Ginza, Tokyo. As always, it's thronging with people. But the main actor today is not the theater itself, but what greets them: the carpet. A vivid vermilion color overlaid with a traditional phoenix pattern. This detailed design helps project a refined atmosphere from the feet up. The technicians behind this carpet are homemakers.
People say we're amazing, so I guess we must be amazing. We have pride in our work.
These women work at Oriental Carpet Mills, a company based in Yamanobemachi, Yamagata Prefecture. It was established in 1935. Exquisite carpets woven from fine woolen yarns. The expression of color gradations in particular is an area in which they are considered among the top technicians in the country. These products are no different from works of art. But behind the scenes, the company had been struggling to grow sales of its high-priced products.
With the way things were going, we couldn't continue our business based on our particular style of manufacturing here in Yamagata.
With their survival on the line, they began working on a certain project: the launch of a new brand, Yamagata Dantsu. The aim was to create unconventional, unprecedented carpets. The creator invited to visit the company is photographer Shingo Miyaji. From his base in Hayama, Kanagawa Prefecture, he has been taking pictures of the sea and surrounding scenery for more than a decade. The company has adopted various measures to ensure that the women workers don't quit. The factory exterior is painted pink, a color preferred by the women. And the many big windows are so that they can work in a bright and refreshing atmosphere. What's more, the heavy tools are designed to minimize physical strain. There's a reason why such innovative ideas are part of the company culture. When Oriental Carpet Mills was founded, northeastern Japan was in the midst of a severe famine. People were starving, and poverty was so rife that families sold off their daughters.
This region was impoverished, so the founder, Junosuke Watanabe, wanted to build a place where women could work. It was a dream that he always had.
There are documents from the time showing just how determined the founder was in pursuing this dream.
This is a notebook in which the founder wrote down his thoughts about starting a carpet business.
In it, he lists what are called employee benefits and welfare today, such as consistently providing clean and white aprons as uniforms, and making sure to have a company picnic in the mountains every spring and autumn. The origins of the company culture of creating an atmosphere in which employees can work comfortably are here.
The success of a business is not in things, but people. For Oriental Carpet Mills, this is a notebook of treasures.
Mr. Watanabe joined the company in 1991. Soon after, the bubble economy burst, casting a dark shadow over the business. With the economic downturn, the values and spending patterns of the Japanese underwent a world of change. The country entered a period in which things sold just as long as prices were low. Oriental Carpet dealt in high-end carpets. Sales slumped to about a fifth of that at the peak.
We felt a constant sense of crisis that with the way things were going, that we couldn't continue our business based on our particular style of manufacturing here in Yamagata.
The president recalls an especially difficult experience that he can't forget. The company had to be downsized, and there was no choice but to lay off large numbers of workers. It was a painful decision that had to be made to keep the company afloat.
People naturally think, why me? In the end, I talked with each person. I just remember that it was painful in so many respects.
Business success comes not from things, but from people. The words left behind by the founder weighed heavily. But even in those difficult days, the president continued to quietly hold on to a certain belief.
Our manufacturing capabilities were not yet recognized across Japan. If people learned about us, I was sure more of them would want our carpets. That was one thought that kept me going.
That belief was what led to the launch of the Yamagata Dantsu brand. Rather than rely on sales of high-end and special order products, the company decided to focus on developing relatively inexpensive home-use carpets. The designs would be improved to better match the living spaces of modern homes. They began collaborating with up-and-coming designers, introducing new works one after another.
This is a prime example of the work of Kiyoyuki Okuyama.
A carpet designed by Kiyoyuki Okuyama called Umi became a big hit.
You can almost hear the sounds of the waves and wind.
Kiyoyuki Ken Okuyama is a world-renowned industrial designer recognized for his work on Ferraris. Wanting to support the industries of his hometown of Yamagata, he agreed to take on the design project.
As a professional myself, I imagined something to encourage the local people and craftsmen to take half a step forward. I incorporated wind and wave patterns to create a picture in which you can feel a story, space, and air.
The design he came up with surprised all the employees.
It's a design that surpasses our carpets and our imagination. I think it's a carpet that's never been seen in Japan before.
Making the carpet based on this design is of course the work of the artisans here. To hold down costs, they couldn't use many of their usual yarns. What's more, expressing light and shadow was not easy. So they adopted a method called color blending to depict the waves using only a few colors. For example, the dark areas of the sea are woven with relatively bigger numbers of dark threads, while the brighter areas with relatively bigger numbers of light threads. By incrementally changing the proportion, they were able to express light and shadow. In fact, to create this sea, only 6 types of colored threads are used.
I was so moved that it brought tears to my eyes. Knowing that there's a place like this and people like them who can do this enhances the attractiveness. They really made me feel that through things, it's possible to move the hearts and minds of people. It reconfirmed how invaluable craftsmanship is for my own self.
With Umi a big hit among customers, the factory regained its energy.
When I see these white cloths hanging down, and many carpets as well, I know there's work to do. And it's a moment when I feel a sense of relief.
Short of hands to do the work, they decide to call on retirees and ask them to help out without straining themselves too much. Ms. Mordia is also one of them.
I'm grateful to be able to come to the company at my age. Bye!
See you tomorrow. Thanks for the hard work.
Mr. Miyagi returns to his home near the sea in Hayama. We asked him again what he thought about his visit to Yamagata.
I felt a sense of happiness seeing the smiles of the people working there. So, I hope my pictures of them will bring happiness to others.
The workers here all have families and jobs, and their own share of difficulties. A history going back several decades of making tomorrow better than today, and now better than before. To continually improve products. The carpets of Oriental Carpet Mills are woven with the love and care of the devoted but shy homemakers who work here.
This company is what makes me who I am. I want to keep working while I can.
Let's paint a vision, your imagination. It started moving round the world. Dream car. Let's paint a vision, your imagination. It started moving round the world. From a sketch on a piece of paper. Come together now. Dream car.
Machines can do much more to unleash human potential. Pure possibility. Omron.
Let's go skiing! That's wonderful!
Bicycle. Next time.
Wonderful!
Great. Excellent.
Smiles ahead! Save a group!
Man, look at all these cars.
Hey, have you heard, by the way, the Japanese company Kobelco is working to make the world's cars lighter.
So what does that mean?
Kobelco is using aluminum and steel technologies to make car parts and bodies lighter around the world.
Ah, Japanese technology. The country of karate. Ha! Ha! Ha!
Why do we always do that?
I don't know.
The talk of the world. Kobelco.
You're watching Channel Japan. Next, we have a report from TV Tokyo's World Business Satellite. Otsuda-san, what's the topic?
Yes, this time we look at big spending overseas tourists in Japan. And during the Chinese Spring Festival holiday period in April this year, 360,000 tourists from China are said to have visited Japan and spent 115 billion yen.
That's amazing. So what kind of things are Chinese tourists buying in Japan?
Well, topping their shopping list are medicinal products, followed by cosmetics.
I've heard that the Japanese medicinal products are highly sought after in China.
Yes, that's right. And a big catalyst was an article posted on a major Chinese website that recommended 12 medicinal products that tourists should buy when they visit Japan. We have a picture over here. So these are the products, and as a result, sales of these 12 products increased sharply.
Why especially those?
The attention to detail that goes into the development of these products may be one reason behind this boom, so take a look.
Hakata Ward in Fukuoka City. At one establishment, tourist buses arrive one after another. Getting off are tourists from China. Once inside, they rummage through the shelves for Japanese over-the-counter medicines and medicinal products.
Is this to put on pressure points?
This is a duty-free drugstore opened this February and caters to Chinese tourists. Daily sales are said to reach 8 million yen, or more than $65,000.
Japanese medicines work quicker than traditional Chinese medicine. I heard there are less fake medicines for children in Japan.
Japanese medicinal products only available in Japan and effective in treating ailments have been referred to by some as magical or mystical medicines. The reason is a guidebook on Japanese drugstores published 3 years ago. Word quickly spread about over-the-counter medicines and medicinal products not available in China. What's more, a popular Chinese travel website posted an article introducing 12 medicinal products to buy in Japan. The 12 products have become the new must-buy items for Chinese tourists on their shopping sprees. Of the 12, 5 are made by Kobayashi Pharmaceutical.
The products around here are those that began selling surprisingly well from last autumn.
The biggest seller is a liquid bandage called Sakamu Care. It is not considered a hit product in Japan, but because of its reputation in China, sales have jumped more than 5-fold from last year.
Water quality is uneven in China, so many people suffer from chapped hands. This is made very well, so when you open it, there's a brush on the end like a nail manicure. You use that to apply it and it dries right away. It protects cuts, especially if you're dealing with water.
Last year, Kobayashi Pharmaceutical says demand from inbound tourists reached 800 million yen. And this year, Chinese shoppers helped drive sales in the first quarter alone to 500 million yen. To ride this wave, the company assigned sales staff specifically for the inbound tourist business from April.
This is a toothpaste called Shoyo EX that we launched in March. We piled it on the sales floors of drugstores and it sold very well. I think the gold color catches the eyes of Chinese tourists.
The company plans to use gold colors in marketing products to Chinese consumers in the future.
If it sells that well in China, it has to sell well in Japan too. After hearing that it's a big hit among Chinese people, a growing number of drugstores in Japan are starting to carry it.
New businesses are also being launched on the back of this boom in medicinal products. This is a department store in the southern part of Taiwan. A man is surrounded by women wanting his signature. This is Zheng Shibing, who wrote the drugstore guidebook.
Everyone buys cosmetics in Japan, but this is the only book you can rely on. It's my must-have reference book.
So who is this man who started the magical medicines boom?
Welcome.
Mr. Jung majored in Japanese at university. His main occupation is translating medical literature. Lining the shelves in his home are medicinal products he bought in Japan, from adult use to those for children. When asked about the differences with local products,
This is a common eye drop in Taiwan. The design on the Japanese one is fancier and really attractive, especially for women. This is the room of my assistant, but I have cosmetics here too.
in addition to cosmetics, there are other daily use products such as shampoo and hand cream. This unlikely hitmaker with intimate knowledge about Japan has caught the eye of Japanese companies as well. In early August, he arrived in Tokyo.
I was invited by various cosmetics makers who want to talk to me about possible cooperation on marketing products in the future.
On this trip, he's been invited to meet with 10 companies and groups, including Shiseido, a cosmetics information website operator, and beauty salon operator TBC. Among them is a person from a slightly different organization.
I'm Hashimoto, in charge of traditional medicine for Nara Prefecture.
Visiting him is an official from the Nara Prefecture office. On the table are medicines made in the prefecture. The local government wants to promote Nara-made medicines to overseas visitors and boost its tourism industry.
You've helped start the shopping spree boom, so we're hoping to discuss various ideas with you.
The product they want to promote the most is a medicinal plant grown in Nara called Toki.
It's a very nice scent.
The plant is said to improve blood circulation and has been used locally as an ingredient for many types of medicines and cosmetics.
I'm really interested in medicine from Nara Prefecture, but I don't know where it's sold. Where should we sell it? I think hot spring inns and hotel lobbies would be effective.
Mr. Jung also suggests design ideas for a bath powder product.
At first glance, it looks like something to eat. Bath can also mean soup. You wouldn't want to buy this and drink it. Why not have a drying of deer in a hot spring? That would be interesting. Deer instead of monkeys.
Mr. Jung has visited Nara to continue their discussions on how to raise the prefecture's profile and boost tourism. So-called magical medicines are giving rise to new businesses. Mr. Jung says he wants to use his perspective as an outsider to highlight aspects that have been overlooked by the Japanese and become a bridge linking China and Taiwan to Japan.
Japan has lots of good products, but when good products are misused, they're wasted. That's very unfortunate. I want to continue telling people about the proper way of using good products from Japan.
So by offering niche products not available anywhere else, they were able to draw in Chinese tourists. tourists and generate explosive sales.
Yes, that's right. And the biggest selling products at drugstores in Japan are energy drinks, digestive medicines and cold medicines, which are sold by numerous companies. So differentiating offerings or entering these markets is difficult unless you're a major manufacturer able to make massive investments.
I see. So rather than targeting a big market with big sales, their strategy was to develop new markets, and that brought an unexpected windfall. Yes.
Vietnam ベトナムに対してワクチンの技術援助をするとか、我々の技術を出せばですね、救われる人たちがたくさんいる。でもう一つは非常に少ない疾病の患者さんたちのための開発をやっています。いかにしたら未だ治らない病気の治療薬ができるかっていう、そこにみんなの気持ちが大体集まってます。
The sport truck. New Mitsubishi Triton.
Drive at Earth Mitsubishi Motors.
Oryx is driving business in Asia through leases, investments, real estate development, energy businesses, and more. Making business more dynamic and fast-paced than ever. Oryx.
Nikko, one of Japan's leading tourist destinations. Here, you will be charmed by nature's bounty and will enjoy the beautiful scenery. You will also experience Japanese history at World Heritage temples and shrines. Nikko and Kinugawa, as well as the historic hot springs, are charming. Asakusa is easily accessible from the airport. It takes 2 hours from Asakusa to reach Nikko and Kinugawa via the Spacia Limited Express. Let's go to Nikko!
So, Tsuda-san, what's next?
Yes, next we take a look at the online deliveries business. And Demi-san, do you shop online often?
Well, not often, but I buy books and heavy products. How about you?
Me, I buy shoes often because I can't find my size at stores. It's easier to shop online.
I see. Well, it's definitely a convenient way to shop. You can put an order from your home and even specify the exact time that that you want your product to be delivered.
Yes, and many retailers have launched online services to meet the demands of a growing population and also families in which both parents work. And more recently, we've seen the rise of online delivery services for dry cleaning.
Dry cleaning, so you don't need to lug bags of clothes to dry cleaners. And I've heard that they even store mattresses that you're not using in winter clothes as well. But at the same time, I know that there have been trouble since there isn't any face-to-face contact with the actual service provider.
That seems to be the case, and so now there are moves within the online delivery and dry cleaning industry to establish stricter rules and improve service quality. So take a look.
Suginami Ward, Tokyo. This is a neighborhood dry cleaning and laundry shop, Nabeyoko Cleaning. The owner is Shozo Odanaka. In his 80s, he still comes into work every day. He entered this business 60 years ago.
Most people who see this may think it looks easy to move the iron this way, but it takes skill.
He says he pays attention to the wear and feel of clothes while cleaning them. But in recent years, revenue has dropped to half that at the peak.
During the bubble economy, that was the best. I couldn't stop laughing then.
The size of the dry cleaning and laundry industry in Japan peaked at 800 billion yen and is now half that. Intensifying price competition and more sophisticated household washing machines are said to be the primary reasons. As a result,
This will close in just my one generation. I have no successors. Many places are like mine. We have no one to take over.
Mr. Odanaka is thinking of closing the shop within 5 years. Because of issues such as the lack of successors, the number of dry cleaning and laundry shops has fallen for 16 straight years. Within the industry, there's one sector that is continuing to grow. This is the home of the Fujimotos in Tokyo. His wife Hadue is on childcare leave now. She is raising a 3-year-old and a 1-month-old baby. Arriving at the door is a delivery company. Inside the box are freshly washed dress shirts. This is from an online delivery dry cleaning service, which she can use without having to go to a physical location.
If I go with my children, a 10-minute walk ends up being an hour long, so doing this online is convenient.
Ms. Fujimoto is a customer of Linet, the biggest online provider of dry cleaning and laundry services. Prices are generally the same as physical stores, with dress shirts starting at 180 yen. Deliveries take as little as 2 days. Users simply reserve the date and time to hand over their clothes to the delivery company. The ease of use has helped grow membership to more than 150,000 people.
Absolutely no problem. My husband says the clothes feel soft and comfortable.
Linet is operated by White Plus, an entrepreneurial venture launched in 2009. As the company handles requests online, it doesn't have its own stores or factories. The clothes entrusted to it by users and transported by delivery companies are sent to partnering factories, where they are cleaned and returned. If still dirty, they are re-cleaned at no cost to the customer. The company president is Takayuki Inoshita. Business is rapidly expanding, but he wears a stern expression. The reason is a report issued by the National Consumer Affairs Center. In it, a warning. Beware of problems when using internet dry cleaning services. Specifically, complaints about the delivery system not being established, with clothes lost and operators not following up. And delays without notification, in addition to clothes still being dirty when returned. While the number of online delivery dry cleaning services has increased 5-fold over the past 5 years, the number of complaints has jumped 9-fold.
I'm not sure exactly why. The thing I hate the most is upsetting customers who have been satisfied with our services.
There are certainly unprofessional service providers in the industry. If consumers feel that Linet is one of them, their business will stop growing. Feeling a sense of crisis, Mr. Inoshita began a new initiative. He arrives at a clothes cleaning factory in Kawasaki.
He moves so swiftly.
To improve the quality level of partnering factories, he established new, stricter guidelines and grades them. There are 30 categories. Each has a maximum score of 5 points. First, the transparency of the dry cleaning solvent used. To cut costs, some factories continue using the solvent until it changes color.
This is tough. It's 4 or 5. What do you think? I think it's a 4.
Next, they look at dress shirts that have just been cleaned. Checked are aspects such as dirtiness, whiteness, and wrinkles. The quality level of factories can be seen especially clearly on lower-cost dress shirts.
You can't make money cleaning dress shirts, so we look at how much effort they make and whether they slack off. You can see how the company thinks. So we look at that the most.
They say they only work with factories that meet their standards. This factory passes the test.
When there are differences in quality, we'll upset the customer, and that's what we want to prevent.
As the president of the biggest dry cleaning and laundry service provider, Mr. Inoshita has also taken on the responsibility of leading the industry. He is meeting with the president of a rival firm, Basket, to propose an idea. He takes out...
I've organized our ideas into a document.
It's titled Japan Internet Delivery Dry Cleaning Standards. Pursuit of thorough dirt and stain removal. Establishment of quality inspection system. Strict problem and loss prevention. Handling of recleaning. The plan is to establish common industry guidelines and force out unprofessional service providers.
Because we don't do business face-to-face, we need to standardize our processes. That way, we'll be able to offer value in dry cleaning that meets the needs of this new age.
What does Mr. Inoshita's rival think of this proposal?
For example, we could make sure the contact info is on the top page where it's easily visible. And also, list prices clearly. I think it would be good to specify the information that online dry cleaning businesses have to put on their websites.
She appears to agree with his ideas. Mr. Inoshita looks relieved. He plans to reach out to other rival firms and establish industry-wide quality standards by the end of the year.
Online delivery cleaning services are new buds for the industry that will become new trees. There are many providers that offer low prices just to attract new customers, but they can't guarantee a sense of security and haven't been able to draw in repeat customers. We want to tell them that it's possible and best to do both. That's how the industry can develop.
Well, I thought it was a great idea that the entire industry took an action so that the people can use these services without worry.
Yes, that's true. And they say many of the users are women in their 30s and 40s who want professional advice on how to take care of their favorite clothing items.
I see. So I think the best way might be to use both online and offline dry cleaning services depending on your situation. Yes. Well, after the break, we have an episode from Takumi.
Making better living with functional labels and films. Connecting dreams throughout the world with our unique technology. Linking your dreams now from Japan to the world. For adhesive products, we are Lintech.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tokyo Skytree. Be awestruck by the panoramic view. There are so many other fun things to do after you've enjoyed the view. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go, let's enjoy. This is Tokyo Skytree.
Mitsui & Company.
Channel Japan. Your source for the voices and views of people and businesses across Japan. The latest reports on Japanese companies, culture, and technology. Find out what's happening on the ground. Every week, direct from Tokyo, Channel Japan.
You're watching Channel Japan. Next, we bring a segment called Takumi from Science Beat, a program produced by NHK.
Takumi literally means artisan in Japanese, and it's a word often used to describe craftsmen with exceptional skills.
So who's our Takumi today?
Yes, today we'll be introducing a Takumi who eliminates bad bathroom odors using light.
Light?
Yes, that's right. The company actually developed tiles that eliminates odors as long as there's light. So take a look.
Kitakyushu City, Fukuoka Prefecture. The city has historically been an area that flourished in the steel and iron industry and making precision machines.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm in Kitakyushu City, Fukuoka Prefecture. The city is known for its active steel industry. The Takumi, or innovator I'm going to introduce to you today, has used this steel industry technology in a unique way to create a new product. Let's go and find out.
The company that I visited mainly makes rollers that are used in metal processing. Hello, I'm Michelle Yamamoto.
Hello, I'm Atsuo Yamamoto. Welcome.
I'm glad to be here. Here is today's Takumi, Atsuo Yamamoto. He immediately showed us to a place that uses his product.
It's over here.
Here? This is a toilet.
That's right. Please go in.
Okay. I heard that your company was in the steel business. Is your newly developed product somewhere in this toilet?
First of all, I want you to see if you can smell that distinct toilet odor.
No, it doesn't smell at all. There's usually an unpleasant odor.
The secret lies in the floor under your feet.
Here is the product that the Takumi developed. These tiles contain a photocatalyst that reacts to light. I took a reading of the toilet's odor level. The meter read 52. This is roughly half the amount found in public toilets. The photocatalyst effectively assisted in decomposing the odor.
This is the material.
It's so soft and very light. The identity of the photocatalyst is this titanium oxide powder. When the titanium oxide comes into contact with light, it reacts to the oxygen and water in the air and produces active oxygen. It's this active oxygen that decomposes odor sources like ammonia. On top of that, it also kills E. coli bacteria and influenza viruses. How did a company in the steel industry get involved in the development of antibacterial products?
I didn't feel that there was any more room in the steel and iron industry to grow in Japan. I felt that the environmental business was promising and wanted to break into it to help boost the company's performance as a whole.
But the development of the tiles involved much trial and error. To fix the photocatalyst agent onto the tiles, they first tried mixing it with glue. However, this method reduced the density of the agent and did not perform as well. It also peeled off easily. So the Takumi set its sights on thermal spraying, which is widely used in steel factories. In thermal spraying, the coating agent is melted and then blown onto metal or other surfaces at a high speed. But the technique could not be used without making changes. This is because heating the photocatalyst to 2000 degrees would cause it to lose its photocatalytic function. So the Takumi tried reducing the temperature to about 800 degrees, which is half the usual temperature. But this caused the spraying force to become too weak, and the photocatalyst peeled off easily. It took the Takumi 10 years to develop a thermal spraying device specifically for the photocatalyst agent. Here it is. By adjusting the fuel gas and other factors, he found a way to maintain the spraying force even at a temperature of around 800 degrees. As a result, the photocatalyst remained intact, adhered well to the tile surface, and no longer peeled off easily. We asked him how he plans to expand the product further.
The product can help prevent hospital infections. So I want to introduce it to hospitals, schools, and other places.
Do you have any big hopes or dreams?
I want the product to be used in outer space. For example, in space stations, where conditions aren't the best.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Return to Japan. We have much more in store for you, so join us again next week.